just going to bring Tenerum in. There we go.
Has the audio started yet?
Yep, audio's on.
Cool.
What I'll do is I'll put up the deck lists, so you can just do a couple of minutes on the deck list if that's all right.
Looks like they're starting, but I'll quickly go over the deck list. Okay, so we are currently casting the Brazil versus Italy game. That is Zorzo versus Kaipan. Zorzo and Crane, and Kaipan. It'll be Kaipan, I'm assuming, on Lion. We have a Crane Splash Scorpion using 3 times Mark of oh no, wait, 1 times Mark of Shame, 3 times Calling in Favors, and 1 times A Fate Worse Than Death. Okay, that's interesting. Still having the Fate Worse Than Death, but even though not having as much. And what else we got here that's really interesting? 1 Bonsai Garden. The Kikida Yoshi is on 3 times, whereas you've only got none of the other 5 costers. No, wait, 2 Hotaru. There's 2 Hotaru there. A Formal Invitation. That's an interesting pick as well. That doesn't often see a lot of play. 1 Menacing Iron Warrior. That can be incredibly good value. We'll see how it goes in this game. The Lion deck is on Dragon Splash, 3 times Hawksetsu, 3 times Let Go, and a Ancient Master. Seems like a good way to go.
Yeah, I think so.
Lots of one-offs. 1 off For Shame, 1 off Assassinate, 1 off Censor, and the 1 Ancient Master, and a 1 off Strength in Numbers. So very toolboxy on the conflict side. It's a lot of 1 times something that is normally quite good. 2 times Ready for Battle instead of 3. With Mirumoto's Fury out of the meta because it's on the restricted list, that starts making a bit more sense. The Yoritomo on the Dynasty side is an interesting thing, probably as a charge target, because he is using charges as a restricted card. And an Imperial Librarian. That's an interesting include.
Imperial Librarian is like a real card. Like it's I think it will be really good in Crane if they get a fire roll, but it's actually decent in Lion. It's just not good against Crane.
Yeah, makes sense.
Hey, Tenerum.
And
meet Joey. Joey, meet Tenerum.
Hello.
Making friends across the globe, always good fun. Joey, we've actually got the game going on right now on the stream. So
yeah, I know. I've done enough on the deck list. Okay, so what do we got? Is this first conflict the turn 1?
Certainly
I think
is.
one of the interesting things here that the Lion did is he actually bought Aikehata with 2 Fate. I think this is just a massive mistake against Crane because Crane box and he doesn't do anything for you.
I think they're probably just going to try and use the covert as much as possible.
Doesn't matter, like if he converts his in on attack, if he doesn't pre-play a fan, he just gets bowed.
Yeah.
But you can use the covert on the military as well. Yeah, but you are correct. The moment he goes in this turn, when he goes in on the political attack, it's just going to get bowed.
That's a classic Merlin thing to do for sure. Happened to me at least once today. Just attacking in blindly on politics, getting bowed by the box.
And he just tried to Ready for Battle for Shame, and it got voiced.
Yep. And we do see the Lion player also on the old stronghold rather than the new one, which is also interesting.
That's kind of tasty, actually. I kind of like it.
Uh, uh,
Not a fan?
the old stronghold is like, besides the unicorn stronghold, is probably the worst stronghold in the game. Because like it's so inflexible. It's only on attack, only military. Something Lion already is pretty good at. Sure, it saves you a card here and there, but like if it was usable on defense, I'd be sort of like okay with it. Or if it gave both military and political only on attacking, I'll also be okay with it. But like it's only military, only while attacking. It has some benefits. It starts with 10 influence and um, it
12 honor.
has 12 honor, yeah. So, I mean, there are upsides to it, but the thing with like HMT, like some people don't like HMT, like Hisumori to read it because they feel like they can't trigger it reliably, but that's not the point of Hisumori to read it. The point is when you trigger it, you probably win the game. Like that's the whole point of that stronghold.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can see Yoji Noshiro have a spot in sort of like honor run decks that use a bit of like hand destruction with spice at court and stuff.
Hmm.
But in general, I think like HMT is probably just the better bet. Period.
The
Fair,
only
fair enough.
situation where I see Yoji Noshiro as the better stronghold is that last conflict. Getting through your final conflict to break something can be difficult, even with Lion, with the amount of military boosts they have. That extra like 3 or 4 you can get from your stronghold can make a big difference. But yeah, you're right. Besides that, yeah, I think you're correct. The new stronghold would be better. Um, just because it allows you to do things more during the game as opposed to just on that instead of just on the end. And generally speaking, you will be up by 5 when you break a province, or close enough to that it's not hurting you that much.
Yeah. I mean, there's also definitely a situation where I sort of like miss not having Yoji Noshiro when I'm like one-off bowing
Mm.
something with Lion's Pride Brawler. I mean, there are times where you sort of like, ah, all right. But in general, HMT is just good.
I tell you what, though, I really like this breaking Magistrate Station early. I think that's going to have a huge impact on the rest of this game.
And here's something that's important. That was up by 5. That conflict right there was up by 5.
Yeah, that's true.
If this had been HMT,
Actually, hang on.
the strength
It was
would have been the same
then
because the Berserker was the only thing that was in play when the stronghold was used.
it was only up by
Um,
5 because of the stronghold, though.
No, because the
No.
Berserker was bowed.
Yeah,
The Berserker was bowed, and the Berserker was the only thing in play when the stronghold was used.
wasn't Stewie?
So
Oh no, Stewie wasn't at the conflict. My bad.
Stewie left the conflict afterwards.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
The-
like having HMT there is also like a situation where you perhaps would have forced the Stewie to stay in that conflict in order to prevent the HMT trigger.
you either would have forced the steward to stay, or if they did still pull them back, you could have sacrificed the reservists to use the to get another military conflict, which maybe you have another conflict character, or maybe you just don't want to get bowed by the box.
Yeah. I
Like
mean, there's also
the fire ring honoring him means he's on 4, so he's can't currently be bowed by the box, but he's still just a court games away from basically nullifying the next conflict.
true. But the one thing now as well is that the Lion player is actually down to 0 fate, which is important here to note.
Yeah. I think the Lion. I think what we're probably going to see is the Lion go for a couple of early breaks, but run out of steam for exactly that reason. You might draw some cards off this Art of War, but well, it's not even breaking at the moment. Even if it does
No.
break, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I'm fairly certain.
I think the steward of the law is going to go find another province, like finding Feast or Famine or whatever this early, because the Lion player is Keeper of Fire is definitely good.
Hmm.
Maybe he's not playing Feast or Famine? No, he definitely is playing. Ooh,
How can
hang
you?
on, that's spicy. Entrenched as Lion.
Yeah.
Huh.
Too bad this is an open list.
Yeah, I think the Crane is probably going to be super happy about that.
Yeah, it's definitely on the stronghold. Um, and here we see must have been what they were planning the whole time with the this character with 2 fate. They clearly had thought they were going to be able to get it honored, so that they're not getting wrecked by the box here when they go in. But there is the court games.
Yeah, one thing to note
Oh,
here,
and the
if
opposing court games.
one thing to note here as well is if Zorzo had a second voice of honor here, he could have just voiced that court games and then instantly boxed. Oh, and we do see also political rival dropped here, which means this Aikihata is going to do absolutely nothing.
Hmm. Nothing whatsoever.
He can. I think in next turn he'll probably swap it to being part of the military conflict, to covert past the something else to actually get value out of it. But yeah, his second ability is not going to trigger.
Did the Lion player only run one for shame? Yeah.
Yeah, one.
He
I
only
think
only played one. Yeah.
I think
There's
that's
only
a
one in the game
mistake.
in his deck.
Yeah, I think like if you run for shame, you run 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it combos with itself. So
I thought when you said for shame, I just assumed you were talking about the Crane player. But
No.
yeah, you're right.
In this situation, like a double for shame is pretty sweet if
This
you
is
have it.
also looks like the Crane player is definitely having
Oh,
favor next turn.
I don't like this. I
no.
really don't like this going in back on Art of War.
Yeah, I think he
Uh,
should have gone fishing.
yeah,
I think he. I
I
think
mean,
the idea here is he wants to try and turn off Yujaki. I know next turn it's not going to matter, but he might not think he can get the break next turn. Or no, wait, he just went for the ring. Never mind.
yeah. I think he definitely should have scouted. I don't think there's anything in the Lion Province Road that you're unhappy to flip in that situation. Like shame, if you find shameful, you go for the pump, right? You try and pump up and break that. If you
You're
find fertile fields, you go like, all right, whatever. If you find feast of famine, you go, yes, I know where that is. Like even
if the line player had any boosts for your characters, Feast or Famine would have gotten rid of the political rival, which is the only thing stopping this Akihata from trying to run rampant.
Mm.
So
I guess.
that would
Wow, that's an
be-
expensive flip for the Lion player. That's rough. I
well,
think
that's
you
a
have to buy.
terrible flip for the Crane.
No, it isn't. Like that's okay. You buy the Challenger 3 Fate, and then you just feel right. That's probably what I was going to do anyway this turn. Like I don't think the Crane player could have found a better. No, I mean they definitely could have been better flops, but the Crane player is definitely not unhappy with that flop. If like the last card flip was let's say a Callow Delegate or a what you call it, the Doji Whisperer, is that the thing?
The +3 politics, like the 3 politics 0 military one.
Yeah, that then this would have been a rough flip, but just flipping a challenger here when you go first, you go like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I think that's probably reasonable. I think the Lions flop is a little bit less desirable because they're all super high cost characters, and you didn't start the turn with much fate.
Yes,
Yeah.
and also like this keeper is probably not gonna see play this turn either.
I also noticed that the Crane is floating for Fate, and he does have one Fate worse than Death in deck.
Yeah, you certainly want to represent it at least.
Hmm.
So he may even have it in hand. So you probably need to respect that here, which could be a problem.
Yeah, and the Lion player can't cancel that because censure requires having the favor. Yeah, I mean this is probably going to be a turn where, like, if the crane found, like, here's the problem, like the crane is going to be, no, actually the crane is not going to care because the crane is going to attack with the challenger. I don't know, politically, whatever,
Pull in the
politically
general.
pull in on the general, get out.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even care. Like he needs to go scouting with that because he needs to find feast or famine now, so he doesn't accidentally run into it. No, no. Wait, I know I know it's enticing to go for the safe province, but you need to find feast or famine before it bites you in the ass.
Yeah.
And this is an excellent turn. You go in, you find feast or famine, you pull someone in, and then you get out. Like, even if he has Hawk Tattoo, he's gonna have to have 2 Hawk Tattoos, and he's only got 1 Fate.
Yeah.
So he can't pull you in twice. It's exactly what you want. It's like the perfect setup for scouting.
Do you scout early though, or do you scout later? Like I feel like his plan at the moment seems to be, if I do decide to scout, I can use the Steward of Law to poke in later in the turn. I want to get some effect. I want to get some, you know, I want to have some effect on the game first. What do you think?
I think you should definitely scout with the first.
Yeah.
I mean,
What if
in an
what if you find it? Because the Lion player is running Hawk. No, you're right. Hawk Tattoo. No, you've got two favorable grounds. Never mind.
yeah,
And one
exactly.
fate. Yeah. No, you're right.
And even though, like, even if he finds like feast or famine here, if the Lion player doesn't defend, like, you just put in the honor general and you win the conflict, but you um like, you don't break. So then you bow Aikihata. So you basically, like, wherever you go, you're forcing the Lion player to defend with Aikihata
Mm.
if you go for a political attack.
Yeah, he went for military. He's probably thinking he's probably going to try and use the political rival on the political attack, to maybe get a break somewhere. But
Why? Aikihata is bigger than the rival on when the rival is attacking.
yeah, but it's going to be bowed after the water conflict.
Okay, how does going to be bad? You mean?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Although he has to win the military.
Or
still.
or you can just put in Aikihata here with the challenger, and then you definitely go break with the second one. But then you end up in a sort of like situation again where, like, oh, I wish I'd found feast or famine anyway. Like, I think scouting here is just the correct situation
Yeah,
because
I agree with you. Scouting is the correct here. There should have been some scouting, but the reason this I'm fairly certain the reason it's not a political is so that he can use the political rival. He can use the political rival on attack later.
yeah,
If
okay.
it feels like Zorzo's game plan is to go after that Art of War as his next conflict and not do any scouting this turn. I feel like that's his only option after this line of play. Because if he goes for another province, there's every chance that he could break it, creating a bit of a blowout.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that challenger, you're right, is going to win this conflict. Bow Aikihata, the political rival, is going to come back in at Art of War and get a break.
And admit defeat.
No, actually, he's going to break Art of War now. That means it's super scary to go anywhere with a political rival.
Yeah.
He's still got the 2 favorable grounds, so the
Oh yeah.
I mean,
He can-
yes, that is true, but I don't like that line of play anyway.
Well.
yeah. See, I think he could have done. He could be scouting now, and then later in the turn he could be scouting again if he didn't hit feast or famine. And he could have 3 provinces flipped up at the end of this turn, which is probably more valuable than just giving your opponent cards because it was a safe province to break.
Yeah.
But at least it's a safe province to break, and it is getting broken.
Yeah, on the next attack, you could throw in both Stewie of Law and Political Rival into the conflict. If you do find Feast or Famine, you can take them out with favourable grounds.
Actually, you might even. Do you,
I think you would
no.
leave the Steward behind because you don't want to risk the Hawk Tattoo back in.
What I was kind of thinking was you could still get a ring effect, not necessarily a break. We'll see, though. We shall see.
I think here, like, are you scared that the like the bowing of Aikihata is not going to go through here due to Ready for Battle? Like, because he gets
Not
to draw
really.
three.
He's already used one. He only has two in his deck, and he didn't stand the Honored General.
I mean,
which
yeah,
would
but
have
he,
stopped the water
he has
ring.
to draw 3 cards before the water ring goes off.
Yeah,
Yep.
which
yep.
could be ready for battle, right?
We're still fit. We're only at 14 cards, and there's only one left. It's unlikely. I would probably put it in acceptable risk territory. It is a possibility.
I mean, I mean, he's still actually breaking here, even if he pulls in the Aikihata. So I mean, that's also an option. But I guess if you want to go aggressive here, you just try and bow with the water ring.
How
That's
do we
fine.
bring in Ikehata?
Challenger.
The challenger pulled in the general, though, right?
Yeah,
No,
it
I
did.
think the general defended,
No, no.
right?
No defense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough.
you
I missed
couldn't
that.
defend that. You couldn't defend that because of the challenger. If you defended, the challenger brought in the other one, and your whole board was bowed, which
Yeah,
happened anyway. But
Well, things are looking a little bit bad for Kaipan. He's only down one province, though, so I feel like with some extra cards in his hand and some more favourable flops next turn, he's still in it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well,
He
remember
needs-
what happened last time. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, I was casting with Luke. I was thinking. Remember what happened last time? You called it early. It changed sort of the last minute, but it wasn't you. It was Luke.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely too early to call it, but like you need to get some like really powerful plays of like charge Toturi and stuff like that. Is going to need to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Feast or Famine.
Yeah, and yeah, probably like the crane player actually walking in and breaking Feast of Famine here would be like awful.
If the Lion player can go in and get rid of one of these favorable grounds, has the without spending a fate, has the Hawk Tattoo, and then Feast or Famine is hit,
The line player
Yeah,
needs a
that could
fate.
swing this turn quite a bit.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
get
you
to steal those 3
yeah.
fate of the challenger onto Aikihata, you just go, all right, I'm winning this now.
But that is an incredibly specific scenario here. But you need to play to your outs most of the time, so maybe
problem
that's what
here
they're
also-
planning on doing.
The problem here also is you need to go for the air ring if you want to do that play. And
Yeah.
he doesn't.
That kind of suggests that
Airing.
he doesn't have a hawk tattoo in his hand. Would you say?
Pretty much, yeah.
Or he just doesn't think he can break this. It's still 5 strength. And he did have 1 strength up, so might have just never thought he could break it.
No, you just banzai box.
There's a lot of zero cost.
So he's got
conflict
2
cards.
strength because of the in favor. So
Oh, wow, he's actually going for it. Like if the crane player actually has just a single for shame here, I think this is just a waste of cards.
how many for shames have they used? 1. Which I would, yeah.
All right, or you can do
expectation,
that. You can do that as well. Assassination.
That works too.
Yeah. Now he's pretty much 100% safe here because the Lion player has 0 fate. There's like no chance.
Yeah, no, there's no conflict character available at all.
And you're certainly not afraid of feast anymore.
Yeah, I think do you go void or do you go earth here? Like earth to equalize the card, advantage, or do you go Void here to get rid of this on a general
Earth
a
has
turn
a
earlier?
significantly better immediate effect. So I would probably go Earth.
I tend to
So
agree. Because
the
it's not going to kill the honor
uh,
general this turn. So
they could also take air so that their opponent doesn't get 2 fate off of it next turn. Because Kaipan will be first player next turn, and it'll have 2 fate on it. It's not a high impact ring, but the fate could be worth it.
We do actually see it for the Void here. I think he just wants to get rid of that honor general as soon as possible. That's
Yeah,
that's a
doesn't
pretty beefy honor, isn't it? That's 7 military strength.
it doesn't want to risk its not being able to destroy it next turn.
Yeah. The lion had only 1 stand your ground, right? No, he runs 3 stand your grounds. Alright. That's spicy.
And only 2 Way of the Lion.
what's happening?
I mean,
Yeah.
stand your ground is not a bad card. It's just sometimes it's a bit hard to get off against
Yeah.
some opponents, like Scorpion.
It doesn't feel
But,
super reliable, does it?
No, but it's kind of nice to just, keep a charge general alive for a turn, or like charge Toturi in on fire and then keep Toturi alive for an extra turn.
Mm.
It's perfectly reasonable.
It is
Yep.
kind of weird though, seeing 3 copies of Stand Your Ground while we're only seeing 2 or 1 copy of cards that combo well with themselves, like For Shame, Way of the Lion.
I also think it's a bit of a oversight to not include Ageless Crone in that list. I think
It's a
Crone
lot
is...
of events. They're probably fairly fate starved. That's probably the consideration behind it
On the lion side,
on the Lion side.
they've got tons of zero cost stuff.
Yeah,
Like-
but if you play Ageless Crone, they're not 0 cost anymore.
Oh, yes, this is true.
Oh no, but you only play Crone in a situation where you tax the opponent, right? Like, or you play Crone just to have a conflict character to poke with. Alright, and he did find Feast or Famine here.
I'm
I guess
surprised.
is-
I'm surprised it took so long to click the commit button here. I kind of feel like there's a moment in every game where you think to yourself, I'm ahead, so I don't want to screw this up, right? I want to make sure that I have every avenue covered. I feel like
Yeah.
for Zorzo, that was that moment.
Maybe. I wouldn't care like which way he went. I would be more worried about which ring I chose, but like which province I went for, I would be like, yeah, whatever.
What do you mean?
And right
Oh.
now,
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
right now, if he'd taken the air ring, he would be up a fate, and it would still be bounced.
Well, I did have a 66% chance of not hitting Feast, so
Yeah,
then the air ring is just objectively worse.
All right. So moving on, Fate Phase. Do you
do
reckon
we
he?
see a Stand Your Ground?
Nope.
No Stand Your Ground.
3 of them in his deck too. When he draws them, they're not going to do anything, which is going to be terrible.
No, he's already lost 1 due to Earth Ring.
Right.
Right, what you want to see here as the Crane player? Do you reckon?
You mean in terms of flips?
Yeah. Oh, that yeah.
I
I'm
don't
just
think
gonna
it
say like
matters.
this Lion player just pitched very aggressively because he wanted to find this exactly pretty much what he flocked now, Spirit Callers, and he leaves 1 on the Feast or Famine to try and sort of entice.
Yeah, make it a little bit more to disincentivize. No, to incentivize going for Feast.
And the Crane player is on no Cloud the Mind. So they're going to have no answer to these spirit callers.
Yep. The upside is the Kryn player still does have the favor, so there's gonna be no Ujiaki shenanigans.
Do you buy this? Never mind. I was going to ask whether you buy the scout to try and deal with the feast, but
Oh yeah. You
Clearly.
100% buy the scout to deal with feast.
Hmm.
Yeah. Scout is like, honestly, with how ridiculous provinces have gotten, Scout is just
Scout's
such a
incredible.
good card now. Yeah.
You know what I find with
I
Crane?
would have considered with a fate though, so you can't get hit with the watering first conflict, because bowing that scout could be somewhat impactful.
I guess. Yeah. I think you kind of do want to invest in a board that sticks around as well as the Crane player here. Like, even if they're low-cost guys. I mean, does the Lion player even run? Yeah, he just run one assassination. You just really want to have like a bit of next turn power going into it. Right, so now 2 keepers have shown for the Lion player. Do you just go fire here, even though there's no fate on it?
I don't know what the keepers are going to do for you this turn. I think they're going to do more for you next turn after that palace goes away. And I think you're right about the box. I'm looking at the Lion player and I'm thinking to myself that you can really only make one significant attack this turn. At least that's the way it feels.
Yeah. He's also down a couple of conflict characters, so it's going to be rough to just do any. Oh, you can't attack. You can't even attack into Frostbreeding Crossing here with Honor General, because that just loses you the katana instantly. And you can't really attack into something else, because that could be
I'm not-
shameful or
Manicured or shameful.
yeah. Oh, he actually does go for fire. I think that's probably a mistake. Maybe. It's hard.
Well,
Like, if he has,
if he does get the Ring of Fire off, it does turn off voice.
it also do allow him to like, if he wins the firing, he could have a keeper initiates, and keeper initiates could be defending with like Legion of 1 to just nullify the Crane military attack.
You could also use this spirit caller to get the Totori, which might be necessary to win the ring, which will let him honor one of the initiates as it comes out.
Yeah, that's very true, but that's going to depend very much on how hard the Crane player defends. Oh, that feels so bad.
Yeah,
I just lose that katana.
I don't know what's going on.
I think he evaluated and found that if he finds shameful, he just can't win.
Even if he brings in Totori?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Crane player is actually defending with 9 here. So he's up by default. He's going to have to pump to get over the Crane player. And if you bring in Totori, the first thing that's going to happen is Shameful is going to dishonor Totori.
Sure.
a-
Yep.
That's a bigger swing.
Yeah. You're right. It's probably the lesser of the bad options as far as like which province to attack. Not knowing which one is shameful.
Yeah. I mean, then you know it's shameful at least.
Here's something. Do you attack with the Spirit Caller and then bring in a character from the discard pile?
I think all the political characters. Oh, there's Ijaki's in here. You could bring in Ijaki, but other
Yeah.
than that, if you're
That's
already
basically
attacking-
like putting a fan on the Spirit Caller, though.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
a lot.
Not without the favor. Without the favor, it's not really
Oh
great,
yeah,
is
yeah.
it?
With the
Yeah.
favor, that's
Yeah, it's a completely separate. It's a totally different thing with the favor. So we're waiting on Zorzo to take his first action, am I right?
Yes. I think the first action. Oh, that's an ornate fan. I think we're gonna see a policy,
Policy
debate here.
debate,
I
yep.
just yeah,
Definitely
there's no
policy
other reason
debate.
for that.
If you were going to policy debate, though, wouldn't you defend with the rival?
No, because it's military.
Oh, right, yeah. Darn rivals.
I mean, you're 5-3. I think you just do the debate anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to bid that high to win that.
Yeah, you need to bid what 3? That's
S-
guaranteed win, right?
I think 4.
No, 4. Yeah, okay. I'll be fine with that. I mean, you have a political rival leaving play this turn. You can use the bonsai gardens. You just go air yourself and you use bonsai gardens, and if you win the air, you go up 3 honor anyway. That's like you're completely fine with that. So
Yeah.
I think you should probably just debate here, just straight away, and go like, all right, I'm gonna bid 4. What you gonna
Yeah,
do
I
about it?
also like the airing having 2 fade on it.
Yeah.
Like that's a good option anyway. So
It's going to let you plan around trying to break that feast. Because I think at this point, once you see your opponent's hand, if you feel like it can actually be done, you send your Cautious Scout into the feast, get rid of the Spirit Caller. Bob's your uncle.
well, another thing that's important here is like they're currently on 5 fate. If they got the extra 2, that puts them to 7. If they don't spend any fate this turn, they go up to 14. There's still 4 5-cost characters in their deck. If they find any of them, they can put them down with just a ton of fate.
Yeah.
And the other things they could find, if they find they haven't found any of their guest of honors, with the dragon being on 25 events, guest of honor could be quite useful here.
So, so you've got
you
one
get
move.
rid of this hawk tattoo, right?
What hawk tattoo? Yeah, it's the hawk tattoo.
Right, because the Hawk Tattoo could bring something in and turn off the Cautious Scout.
Yeah, and you don't want that.
No. And here's another thing. Actually, never mind. So, Kaipan has one move to play a card before that policy debate comes in. He decides to play Ancient Master.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just
I think he's planning on winning this, and he wants to possibly with Toturi, and he wants to honor the Ancient Master and one of his Keeper Initiates, so he can have 6 strength on the table.
That's fair.
Oh
and
yeah,
he
yeah,
chooses to get
okay.
rid of stand your ground. That's interesting because you can't attack into feast now with a Cautious Scout. You just can't.
That kind of suggests that Zorzo is planning on a void attack, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. That I think that's probably the case
Hmm.
with that. Void is
I mean, that's fine.
also on 1 fate. It's one of the more valuable rings at the moment.
Not a whole lot of honor was lost there in that policy debate. So, the Ring of Air, the Ring of Air, I don't know if it's going to do much besides give you that 2 fate.
No, it's definitely going to be like Crane is first next turn as well, so it's 3 fate airing. You just go, all right, I'm gonna poke this with whatever
Yeah.
and just cash in.
Totally.
Oh, a second policy debate. What you get rid of now? Now you get rid of the Hawk Tattoo?
Yeah, I
think
still think
so.
the Hawk Tattoo should have been the first one. But yeah, I mean, it has. My opinion on what to get rid of hasn't changed.
I mean, it depends if you want to try and win this battle, because then you get rid of Void the Lion, I guess.
I think you have to play the long game. You have to play. Yeah, you kind of have to play in increments of value, and I think the Hawk Tattoo represents too much of a threat. But then again,
you also really sort of like in this situation, you kind of want to bait him into play the Katana to then trigger Frostbitten Crossing, I think.
yeah, it's already on, right? Like, yeah.
I still think the tutorial is coming. The tutorial is coming out from the Spirit Caller.
Almost
So-
certainly. It wouldn't be bad at all for the Lion player if this favourable ground went away. I think it has to be hawk. It has to be hawk tattoo, because what's going to affect a political conflict here? Basically nothing.
Strength in numbers.
He got rid of strength in numbers.
Wow.
That just means you can't attack Feast or Famine with the Cautious Scout. I mean, no, actually, you can attack Feast or Famine with the Cautious Scout if you have an Assassinate in hand. How many
assassinate
Assassinates
your
does he
own.
run? 2. So he could have 1 Assassinate in hand. Because he knows that this Ancient Master is the only character without Fate that's going to be on the board when Feast or Famine breaks if he attacks Void military with Cautious Scout.
Is that true though? The Spirit Caller could bring somebody into play, and it doesn't
Oh,
leave
yeah,
until
but
the end of the
that's-
conflict.
Yeah, that's assuming the Spirit Caller
Yeah.
uses the ability in this conflict, which I imagine it actually probably will.
So we're attacking on fire. So that means you're going to double fire. I don't really think a double fire is going to do all that much. So I think if you're breaking, I don't think you use the Spirit Caller right now. If I'm the Lion
Not
player,
currently breaking though.
you got plenty of pumps
You
in
could
hand though.
bonsai.
Yeah, bonsai
You
way
could
the
bonsai
line.
for it.
No,
but-
bonsai's already been used. 1 bonsai's already been used.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
There's one in
you
hand though.
could,
Oh yeah, but
What you-
bonsai is one per conflict.
Oh right,
Yeah.
right.
You could Hawk Tattoo the Cautious Scout in and use the Kitsu Spirit Caller, turning off the Cautious Scouts for basically the entirety of its life, and still break. That's an option that they could take, or they could just win the conflict up by 2.
I don't know what's going on. My world is falling
no,
apart.
No. It's fair. Like he pumped to win,
Mhm.
and then he realized, like, with the 2 policy debates, that the Crane player had enough shenanigans to just say, either I'm going to force you to use the Spirit Caller, and sure you get a break, but then I'm going to just murder you, or you
So
like, or
So hang on. So we're thinking that the Crane player knows what's in the Lion player's hand, but the Lion player didn't play something like Way of the Lion or Strength in Numbers to try and win the conflict, because he assumes that the Crane player could win the conflict. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, pretty much.
I don't know. I
Like,
feel
the Crane player has seen the hand, so he knows exactly what he needs to do to not lose.
not die, but that assumes that there is something that the Crane player could do, right? So the Crane player could see the Lion player's hand, and then realize that actually this particular conflict might be a lost cause. We don't actually know what's in Zorzo's hand at the moment. If I was the Lion player, I feel like I could have made some more investment here to try and threaten that break.
I mean, the way he discarded cards, he just discarded Stand Your Ground. That means he's pretty confident in winning the Void Ring. And then he discarded Strength in Numbers, which suggests that he just knew that there wasn't going to be an issue with the... like, Strength in Numbers was going to be the only thing that could probably be bothersome for him.
Yeah,
Something that's
do agree with
interesting to note here: this Frostbitten Crossing wasn't used. It's
yeah.
on a general.
Yeah.
Still has its katana.
I mean, yeah, even if you use the Frostbitten Crossing, the Honor General wins the conflict, and you kind of try to bait the second katana, because the second katana would have been the break, but then you pop Crossing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah. I tell you, if Zorzo discarded those Strength in Numbers... Oh, hang on. Was it Strength in Numbers, or it was... one of them was Strength in Numbers? Or both
Well,
Yeah,
of them?
one of them
Strength in
Strength in Numbers, the other one was
Stand Your
Stand Your Ground.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I think you're okay with the Lion player winning this conflict, right?
Totally. 100%.
I mean, ideally you do
Is
want to
the-
get rid of this Honor General, but
Yeah,
got the Lion player to waste the card. That's fine, I guess.
Actually, are you okay with the lion player winning this conflict? Zorzo looks like his part of his goal should at least be to try and stabilize board position, right?
Yeah, no, that's fair. Oh, alright, Kami Unleashed.
I like this. I like this a lot, actually.
Yeah, that kills on a general.
Yep, this looks like the play that they were planning from the moment they took the stand your ground.
Yeah. We also see another Banzai bled from the Lion player, so that's another military buff left.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, gone for the Lion. So that's all the Banzai is gone for the Lion. There's only one Legion of One and 2 Way of the Lion left. Oh, and this Doji Challenger is going to move in this Spirit Caller.
Right.
And there's nothing he can do about it.
It's always interesting to watch games that with decks that don't run cloud. I think that
Oh, you mean Lion and Crane games? Because those are literally the only
The
two
only
cards not
ones.
running it.
does Unicorn run cloud? I suppose they could, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Unicorn Run Cloud. Holy shit, they have so many good Shigenias now. They have Wayfinder, Shahai, Master of the Swift Waves,
That's it.
some
Mia-
run
Mia
Meshuggah
Mystics, probably.
Wielder,
Yeah.
Mia Mystics. Like, they have a lot of, like, really decent Shigenias now. Like, it's literally only Crane and Lion that goes like, well, I guess I can't really run that card because I gotta put in a lot of trash cards in order to play that card, so...
Some
Yeah.
crabs have difficulty with it because crab Shuringer aren't great for the most part. It's like Witch Hunter. That's about the
I mean,
only one.
I think mostly the crab use the Wayfinder Cloud
Yeah.
combo because they can just sit on that for a while and it's fine.
Yeah, and it also turns on a bunch of their other stuff, right? It turns on Gaijin customs and things like that.
Yeah.
I feel like the Wayfinder Cloud is almost as reliable as Stewie and For Shame.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as you see a Steward of Law come down, you know that they've got a For Shame they want to play.
Yeah. That is one of the most telegraphed plays in like Legend of the Five Rings. The other
Well-
one is a Scorpion player sitting on like 7 Fate and then declaring no defenders when you attack with a big guy. You go like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
I guess.
I guess I know what's
guess I
coming
know
now.
exactly.
Yeah. So it looks like it's Zorzo's opportunity. Hang on a second. So Zorzo was attacking just now, wasn't he?
Yes,
So
Zorzo was attacking
Kaipan's
just now.
Kaipan's next.
Yeah, and he has attacking with the Ancient Master, and now he's scouting because he's basically trying to force a defense here if it's on Shameful, but it isn't. So the Crane player can remember if he remembers, he can grab an honor from Bonsai Garden,
Mm-hmm.
which is not half bad.
Well, it's better than letting that card go into the bin without activating its ability.
I did know that he had Nordic fan here, so this is something we knew. And the City Court games to just nullify this, not nullify, but just prevent this attack. Let's see if he actually remembers Bonsai Gardens. What are your bets, guys?
Hmm.
I don't think he's going to
Joey?
remember it.
All right. Well, in that case, I reckon he's going to remember it.
I also think that he isn't going to remember it.
You guys are going to have egg on your face.
Oh!
Come on, Zorzo. Man. Should have put money down.
Oh yeah.
I don't play a whole lot in the Discord League. Maybe next time we should play for prize wall points or something.
don't know if I have any. I have like one maybe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have any. I think it was, yeah, no, it was like months ago when I played. Okay.
I mean, you actually have to reach. You actually have to reach pretty far into the cup to have
Oh, yeah,
prize wall points.
yeah.
Like top 16, I think, to get like a point. So yeah, I think I only have one.
No winner or loser. Okay.
Assassination.
Yeah, that's great.
And this is going to be like you're just going to. Oh, that's actually brilliant. He knows his hand, right?
Yeah.
You just go to the fourth province and break Shameful for free.
Well, oh, covert. Ah,
Yep.
you're right. You're completely right. Sure, why not? A break on Shameful is good.
And all it costs him is favor.
Is there
Not
another?
really. The Kaipan wins favor anyway.
Yeah, it was happening regardless.
Is there another stand your ground in the line player's hand?
No.
Okay.
That general's gone.
The thing is, like, Lion has a chance to start clawing himself back next turn because he still has a live Spirit Caller, and he still has Ujiakis in the discard pile. So it's just gonna be Ujiaki Central, basically.
Hmm.
I mean, the Crane player can to some degree determine a bit where the Ujiaki is going to trigger, because the Crane gets first chance to attack, so he can challenger in a Spirit Caller. But I guess the Lion player is just gonna play the second Spirit Caller next turn and have his Ujiaki combo anyway. Yeah, okay.
I think that'll be what'll happen.
Hmm.
Just double spirit call is pretty good.
These clocks are getting
Yeah,
kind of low. What turn is this?
I mean, kind of low is the correct statement here. They're not getting extremely low
Hmm.
yet.
Like if they're both playing at the same pace, there's still another over 30 minutes in the game. So
Yeah, I think this is probably going to end like in a couple of turns. Oh right.
Does he not
Orc
want the
Tattoo.
break?
No. That was Kaipa's Orc Tattoo.
Oh, right. Sorry, I just assumed that Hawk Tattoos are played by the opponents. That's just what I assume
No.
they do.
Like, the Crane player doesn't even run Hawk Tattoo. He's on Scorpion Splash.
Excellent point.
Speaking of, this is not actually a bad target for Fate Western Death here. To break Shameful. Guess it's fine. I mean, you got rid of Hawk Tattoo this way, but you didn't break Shameful.
I think it would have been used earlier in the turn. Wasn't there a point where the Honor General was attacking alone?
Oh yeah,
with
that's
one
true.
fate on it?
Yeah, I guess.
I really feel like this is still anybody's game. I don't know that either player has advanced significantly upon the other.
I think if the Crane player actually broke Shameful there, I think the Crane player would have been in a very good position.
Mm-hmm.
Just because then you can farm Feast or Famine, and like I think all the fans are gone from the Lion player now, so you can just keep tapping into like Feast or Famine with like chuds, and force the Lion player to defend with something larger than 2 political, or just keep farming rings off of that, or you can just go for breaks on fertile fields. I think that's the situation where you really wanted to be as Crane here.
I think the Lion player has one more fan left. There's one in the bin, one on the initiate. I don't think it's currently in hand, but there's one in the deck.
All right, okay, that's fair. But that's also like an option otherwise, because that makes it like super awkward for the Lion player otherwise. Like if you poke in with something that is low enough to not break Feast or Famine, you have to defend with something that's stronger than 2 political strength, or you just get bowed, and they win the ring anyway. Like, is something like Scorpion is experts at
Mm.
doing annoying ass poke attacks.
So Zorzo's got 3 fate left, but he is the first player to attack, so he can get that extra fate off a ring for something like a fate worse than death. Uchiaki potentially could get fate worse than death.
True.
Mm.
That's still sort of like a bit of a feels bad moment though,
Oh yeah,
because
it's a fate worse than
he-
death.
no. I mean, sort of like from the Crane player side, because you fate worse than death on something that's
Yeah, it's only going to be around for a conflict.
Yeah.
There is only one in the deck though, so I guess there's every chance that it hasn't been drawn. At
Did
least-
only draw 3, and I'm pretty sure he didn't have it last turn.
Yeah.
Or
I
he
don't
would
think
have used it.
we haven't seen any Scorpion cards, have we?
I
there
don't
hasn't really
believe
been
so.
anything worth stealing with calling in favors. He runs 1 mark of shame and 3 calling in favors. Like what you steal with calling in favors. A fan, a katana. That's just. That's
Yeah,
usually
with
just
your
keep
glory
status quo.
values. With
Yeah.
the glory values you have, it'll probably just even out. He's only running fan katanas and hawk tattoos for stealing, so
Ooh, this is a
Do you know
pretty big push. Does he run Noble Sacrifice?
2 of them? I was just thinking that because you mentioned Mark of Shame. I'm thinking, yeah, this whole
No,
thing
I'm-
screams Noble
I'm-
Sacrifice.
I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like
yeah. This
had-
is basically all right. I'm going to Noble Sacrifice your 3 Fate Spirit Caller.
Yeah.
Come at me.
I feel like if he had the noble sack, wouldn't it be better to have attacked with the challenger and the Hitaru at the same time, so that you can pull in one spirit caller and noble sack the other one between conflicts?
That
Yeah.
would be super juicy. But then would you have like what are you going to do for your next conflict?
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Do you need other conflicts?
do you need more than one conflict to turn? The lion player certainly doesn't.
Oh, is it happening? It hasn't been declared yet.
Yeah.
Are they listening to this?
I don't know.
No,
It's
but
also-
like I imagine like none of these none of these guys are bad players. I imagine they're pretty much going through the same sort of like scenarios in their own
Yeah.
heads.
Yeah. When you're playing on Jigoku, do you like when I play, I'll like select the characters and then I'll think about it and then I'll select the ring and then I'll go, no, that's a bad idea, and then I'll deselect the characters and then I'll choose another ring and that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, my thought process is not that complex.
Uh,
I look at a couple of things and then go.
No, I think I annoy my opponent more in a sort of sense that I think about all of this in the passing windows, and then during when I've actually passed, I go like, all right, pick, go.
Right.
If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Oh yeah, you're probably one of these smart players that like actually knows what they're doing and just goes for it.
Oh no. I take a horrendous amount of time sometimes to think it through, but I just do it in the sort of like passing like
Yeah,
passing,
when you're
like-
waiting, when you have an opportunity to act. Yeah.
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 So during the passing windows, like in between conflicts, I usually think about all of that. So when I do pass and get ready to do my conflict, I usually just pick everything and go.
I
What do
like.
you guys think of this Ujaki straight up on the defense?
That's fine.
Yeah, and I kind of like the fact that he used the one. I feel like Kaipan is anticipating a fate worse than death. No, not a fate worse than death. A noble sack. Bringing in. Oh, sorry, using the one with 3 fate. I guess if you're gonna lose it this turn, may as well use it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a decent chance that he can actually just. Yeah, he's going to. Holy shit!
This is fucking
Uh,
amazing.
You can't bring in Bayona though, because it's not 3 other bushies. But yeah, you could just bring in Tuturi and Master 7th Legion and go like, yeah, you're 100% not winning this conflict, mate. And that's exactly what he does. Like, he also has a way of the lion in hand. It's like, actually a 0% chance that the Crane player is winning this conflict.
Yeah. You know, actually, it doesn't feel very
Really
good.
that impactful though?
No, not really. I mean, you can't. What are you going to try and win the Ring of Water to straighten them to get a conflict out of them? I don't know. Winning by 1 or winning by 100 doesn't seem to matter right now.
Meh. It's all about the rings, I guess. Keep having the favor next round as well when you're attacking first, so you can do the same thing again.
Does put them in the bin so they can be they can be spirit called. I guess there's that.
There was already a Tuturi in there
Sneaky bastard.
turned off.
Goblin sneak.
I wonder who has a Legion of One in their hand.
Oh, I don't know. I think that's the lion player.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny when you see certain cards, your brain instantly goes, "All right, well that means that."
I don't think we ever answered Phoenix Fox's question on who the casters are. It's
Oh.
myself, which is Joey / Zyceres. We've got Merlin / Skylock and Tanarim. I don't know how long ago you asked that question, but we've answered it now.
Hi. That was a great game, by the way, Phoenix Fox. Great game. So what's going on here?
This just screams
Legion of One. Yeah, totally. What do you? So Ring of Water is good. I guess he is, right? Like, what was I saying about him not winning a Ring of Water? I guess he is just going to win a Ring of Water. Unless he gets assassinated.
Assassination is gone.
Tuturi.
Oh yeah, 2 assassinations have been gone. I don't.
Oh, that is filthy. Oh, luckily he actually has the voice of honor to stop that. Oh, that would have been so filthy. The charge to have massive Bayona and then trigger the
And then trigger her.
reaction on Bayona. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that feels so good. When you get that off, it feels so good.
Wait a second.
It's
Are there
the
3 other
one.
Bushi? 1, 2.
Isn't it free including?
Yeah, no, it's 3
no,
other.
It isn't actually 3 other.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
Still,
Other,
No,
yeah.
yeah.
still, a charged in Bayona would have been great. All right, so
the
double bonsai.
yeah, and Legion of One, but no kicker on Legion of One on the Goblin Sneak.
Another charge.
That feels
No.
super
And with the
greedy
voice
to
of
me.
honor. Guess who's been holding the charges and who's been holding the voice of honors?
Yeah, it's clear. Is that all the charges gone? No, 1 left.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, there's one more.
Yeah.
One more, I think. Yeah. Yeah, one more charge.
The lack of kicker on the Legion of One feels super greedy to me. Like, how much do you really need this one dash?
That would have been enough as well to break because he
Oh,
goes
yeah.
up 3 more and then he boxes.
And actually, I think that so Zorzo's passed. I feel like Kaipan should just take this, straighten up his guys, take it like a man. When Doji Hitaru comes in and breaks, what's she gonna break? Shameful? No.
I
Fertile?
don't think Otaru
Something.
can break Shameful.
No.
Why would you play
Oh.
the Katana?
He forgot. That's totally you know, I forgot about that Frostbitten Crossing.
Well,
Yeah,
his opponent
okay.
didn't use it last time and let him keep the katana. Maybe he thought that'd be kind enough to let him do it again.
No, that's not how it works. That's
This-
not how any of this works.
That's right. This is reality, you know? What's the difference between reality and fiction? Fiction has to make sense.
Yeah, it's a good one. I never heard that one before.
I'm definitely quoting somebody else. I have no idea who though. So
Yeah. Honestly, if the Crane player actually has soul beyond reproach here, I think you definitely push political into shameful with Hotaru, because then you just go, oh no, I'm dishonored. I guess I'm honored now.
yeah, totally. I think really Kaipan needs to just take a
If he'd
win.
done this from the beginning, he would not only have had the Biona with a massive amount of no.
He would
I'm
he would turn off
angry now.
voice.
He would turn off voice, and then he would have had the Biona with
Oh my
2 Fate
God.
on. Like,
It's wonderful. These guys have been going at it for a while now, almost an hour, I think. A little bit over
upsets
an
me,
hour.
like,
Yeah.
it's obvious that he didn't want to do this, but then decided he had to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And I disagree. I don't think he had to do it.
Okay, so I think plan A for Zorzo is still in effect, right? You come in on Shameful with these two. Actually, your opponent is actually... Oh no, they've only got a political conflict left.
You don't go
To
to
be fair,
shameful
they have a
'cause
pretty beefy political board. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like it, but they have a pretty beefy political board.
you definitely don't go to shameful though because you don't want them to honor Totori.
Do you go
And
fire?
then you either have to use one of the fire triggers to turn him off or to de-honor him, or he might actually do some shenanigans and stay around for a turn with a stand your ground. Because I don't
That's
think
true,
we've
yeah.
seen them.
There's one left, but he only has 10 cards left in his entire deck, so it's very real possibility that you could have the last one in hand.
So yeah, that's probably what they're thinking here going into the fertile fields.
I think the Crane player is overextending.
No, if he wins this firing, I think the push from the Lion player is just negated entirely by Stronghold.
Uh,
I don't know.
the keeper doesn't initiate with the attachments, doesn't get bowed, and Totori doesn't get bowed. That's
What do you
6
mean?
strength. From the stronghold, they're both very.
Oh,
they're
okay,
all-
Noble Sack. This is the Noble Sack play.
I thought we'd already established this was a noble sack play.
No, I thought, yeah, okay, sorry. In my head, I completely forgot about the Noble Sack play we discussed earlier because it was so far back, so I thought, like, alright, maybe he doesn't have it. And then you end up in a situation where you want to dishonor both Tuturi and Keeper Initiate instead.
Yeah, that would have made sense if they weren't just going for the noble sack play.
Yeah. Because then you have a situation where they push into whatever province and you just go, oh, Tuturi is 0, Keeper Initiate is 1, and I just bow to Keeper Initiate.
Yeah.
And then they have still one Keeper Initiate standing, but you're not breaking with that at
Do
least.
they have any ready for battle left?
Yes, one.
One. Yep.
In
hasn't
hand.
come up. Oh, in hand? Okay.
Yeah, in hand. We did see it a couple of turns ago during the policy debate.
I still think
I
this
think
is... I still think it's an overextension by Zorzo. I think that if this manages to break a conflict, you're going to get the favor. You're going to get the
Favor. He'll
favor
be
anyway.
first player, and there's a Ijaki in here. I'm pretty sure. Yep.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, there's also no more tutorials to pull. There's no more.
There are in
I mean, you
There's a-
could.
there are in the deck.
No, he only runs 2 tutorials.
Really?
So the biggest thing he can hit is 1 7th Legion. I mean, of course, you can hit a couple of Lions Pride Brawlers, and that's probably game. or another Honor General. Okay, so Honor General and Lions Pride Brawlers are perfectly fine to hit as well. So I guess that's probably just game. Then.
Yeah, like even if you just swing it by like 5, that's probably enough. Although it is entrenched, I'm fairly certain. Yeah, it's entrenched, so that could be difficult.
Oh no. Like Lion
So
always
here's a foreshadowing.
Lion likes seeing entrenched. Lion is perfectly fine with seeing entrenched. So he needs to have 2 for shames in hand. Or that.
Okay. He's going for policy debates.
And let's go is gone. Alright, we did know actually the Lion player had two Let's Goes in his hand, and that's all the Let's Goes gone. So I think the Lion player might be breaking this. I think the Crane player. Oh, okay. Maybe not. That's the calling in favors then. Yeah, I don't think the Lion player can break this now.
Yeah.
Unless he has court games. Is there any court games left? One court games is left, I think. Yeah.
Court
Lion
games
player
would
could have one court.
court games would be the only thing that would do it, I think.
For sure.
And actually, what has our Crane player played? Our Crane player has played all of their court games.
A court
Yeah,
game's
if the
into a
Lion player
stand your
doesn't
ground.
break, if the Lion player doesn't break right here and right now, he's in trouble. He's actually in real trouble now.
And he didn't break.
Hmm. Two cards in hand for the Crane player, 5 for Kaipan, the Lion player. Kaipan has 3 fate up on the Crane. And I think
Crane
boards...
has a much better board.
Yeah, definitely board position to Zorzo. Callow Delegate doing what Callow Delegates do best, honoring Hitaru or Yoshi.
Yeah, I think the Lion basically lost any sort of chance of breaking politically. And this is a terrible flop for a Lion player.
Oh
I
my,
guess you buy the Honor General.
that Librarian, man. This is what you get for not...
Against Crane?
Yeah, no.
Against
I'm not
Crane?
I'm not saying that you buy it. It's a spicy meatball. I'm like, why is this in the deck?
I mean,
And you're a
it
total...
gonna be honest here, like, it kinda does make Scorpion cry a bit.
I love this.
Currently 8 straight Eurotomo.
I love this. This is so good. Sure.
I'm thinking
why
he's
not?
passing.
Okay, so you
I mean,
leave
pass.
you leave the Honor General there so that you can Spirit Caller into Ujiaki into Honor General. Yeah. So I think you pass here to make it 9/9 Eurotomo.
Do you use the favorable ground before you use the jockey?
No, because you need to pull Yoritomo out of whatever conflict he's pulled in by the challenger, I guess. And then,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you're attacking first, right?
Yeah, but you need to break 2 provinces this turn. That's your goal.
Oh, right. Yeah. Forgot about the fact that they didn't break.
Is it just me or
Oh, no. Why? Yoritomo is now much smaller.
He's only a 7/7.
well, Zorzo doesn't have any fate left, which is good. If you go and grab that Earth Ring, go get the Earth Ring.
No, he's going for fire. He wants his keepers.
What was I going to say? I was going to say hawk tattoos. That's what I was going to say.
He
Would
might grab
be-
his Satori out while he's here.
Both players down to 7 minutes on their clocks.
Yeah, this is going to end soon, one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if he gets the Satori out, he can go double firing, like turn off Hitaru's on it. That might be what he's considering here, but I would have thought a break would have been more valuable.
I think a Souls Beyond Reproach is pretty much guaranteed to be in a Crane player's hand by this point, so you don't want to dishonor anything, you also want to put him back to normal.
Yeah, or at least get as many honored.
You could still get, you could like take one to neutral, take Hitaru to neutral, and take something to.
I guess the
Something
Whisper is fine to dishonor.
It's probably worth mentioning
Yeah.
that all the voices are gone.
Yes.
Oh, actually,
And
you could honor
Censure's
one of
another
your
one.
guys and dishonor and make Hitaru neutral. That would be probably the best way.
Oh yeah,
can
you could
honor-
probably honor Yoritomo this way. That's
Yeah.
fine.
So we pull in Akodo Totori instead of Ujiaki like we were sort of predicting. I'm not sure what else you can do to Totori because the guest of honor's here. You can't play like Way the Line or anything like that.
He's breaking now, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's up by 7.
He could have been breaking with an Ujiaki though.
I mean, if the Crane player has Banzai,
I think he wants to
Ujiaki-
keep the +1 political because he's going into the stronghold on political with the Yoritomo.
Yeah, but I think like the Crane player is going to go. The Crane player should just go political water, and then pull in Yoritomo, and then he favors ground out, and then you double water Yoritomo, and Yoritomo is sad. Like, I mean, the Lion player has one ready for battle in hand, but like you go, all right, I water Yoritomo, all right, ready for battle. I water Yoritomo, shit.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's probably the plan here for the Crane player.
What were the bids? What were the bids? 4 to 4. Okay.
4-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but by going political water here, you basically just turn off all the sort of like you don't care anymore. Like going.
You do
Go
have to
poli-
attack with the two bigger political forces. So just leave the Doji Whisperer up at the end of the conflict. And there is 3 Keeper Initiates here, but I don't know how much you can do when you've got what 1 fan.
Yeah, no, the Lion is not breaking politically this turn. It's not happening. So you want to put yourself in a situation where you're breaking, where you're also pushing Stronghold next turn as Crane. So I think you just go in. I don't know, man. Just go into. I think you just go into Shameful. You probably have Souls Beyond Reproach, so whatever gets dishonored, just whatever. Yeah, this is water. Yeah, so
Yeah.
the Lion player is screwed. The Lion player can't break politically this turn. Like Yoritomo should have had 1 fate on him, and this would not be an issue.
Yeah, I completely agree. I wonder if Kaipan, and this is a serious question, I wonder if Kaipan's plays are designed to put cognitive load onto Zorzo to make his clock run out. Like that would be that would be a legit strat right here, I think. Like forget breaking, just make it really difficult for your opponent to understand what's going on.
That's always the goal, though, making it really difficult for the opponent, right? If it's easy for the opponent, he's probably winning.
Totally. Man, 3 minutes. I'm just staring at that chess clock. 3 minutes 48 seconds. There is like some of these decisions need to come out lightning fast at this point.
Yeah.
Marduk's on the line of play in chat. He knows what's going on.
What's he saying?
He says that Crane really
need to play fast.
Yeah.
Why did you defend with 2 keepers here? Whatever. I don't care.
Because of the box, by the look of things. But no, wait. Shameful. Straight up. No,
Yeah.
no idea.
Sobby on reproach. What?
Okay, that makes sense. No. Hear me out.
Okay,
That makes
okay.
sense because like if the Crane player actually
educate
wins
me.
this water conflict, that Yoritomo gets bowed anyway. Like you can't save him with Ready for Battle. So no, you just.
So you just
Making sure.
eat it?
So he's trying to force a win here, but
I don't think you want. So if you play the Ready for Battle on Yoritomo, then you force both of the water rings to go onto Yoritomo, and the guest of honor will not get straightened. At this point, I think the guest of honor. Oh no, actually, no, it didn't make.
no,
It does make it either way. Yeah,
On the Yoritomo.
yeah. This is a long ass game.
Yes, this is. It is a bit too long.
Oh, in comes Yoritomo.
Yeah,
So
I guess.
defending with 14. I guess you just. Well, actually, I'm not sure I like this because now the guest
No,
gets
I like
readied.
this.
Now the guest.
I like this.
Okay.
No, because now he wins on defense, so no one gets readied.
Formal invitation.
Man,
Who
you know
invited
this
the
is
challenge?
this is basically a part of the tactic of just putting more pressure on the crane player, like forcing the crane players to keep making decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Like the crane player needs actually more buffs, like more
Yeah.
buffs to win this conflict. I mean, Kaipan, you keep your passages. Look at that clock go tick 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 tick
Mm-hmm.
tick. And Censure cancels Way of the Crane. Oh, hello. Do we have a source beyond reproach?
If you had one, you play it first, right?
Oh, he didn't. Oh my god. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Not found.
You go. I think you'd 100% go Earth here. Like, you go
Get
Earth.
the fate. Yeah, get the
Yeah.
fate. Make your Yoritomo stronger next turn once you stand your ground it.
Yeah.
I love Legend of the Five Rings. Can I just say that? I want to profess my love before all here in this stream. This game is the best game.
Oh no, entrenched. Ah. Like, you forced him to use the box as well, so wow, this is...
Hmm.
That's it. And Banzai is gone. So that was the play from the crane here, going with having the challenger standing and going in lion box and trying to
Now,
Banzai.
do they have the stand your ground? Ah.
Come on. Come on. Oh my god.
There it is.
Oh my god. My housemate is probably trying to sleep right now, but he can't because I'm yelling too much into the microphone. This is bonkers.
Do you toss the honor general here, because like he only gives buffs to lion characters.
This is a ridiculous board. 5 neutrals.
All right. For those playing the game at home, you've got 15-15 Yoritomo on the table.
Do you even buy something here? I mean, the crane play does to get
I
attacked
thought-
first.
Apparently, you buy the general. I would have thought the Ikehata just for the covert.
I mean, I don't think any of the players sort of like know exactly what they're doing right now, because both are in gotta go fast mode.
Yeah. Do you attack? I think you attack military. You're like the lion stronghold right here is +6.
No. You definitely. I mean, you're not on the stronghold. You definitely attack politically, and you do it with water again to force double bow.
Oh right, sorry, Zorzo's first player. My bad. I thought.
Actually, you force a triple bow because you go in with the challenger and Hotaru. So challenger pulls in someone, and then you double bow with water. Right? That has to be the play.
Yeah, you need to get that Hitaru down. Yoritomo down. What's he now? 8, 9, 10, 11.
Is that
Comes
a
out in the
void?
That's a void. There's also not a double ring.
Zorzo's planning to take this game into one more turn.
Okay, don't defend. Get rid of the owner general. I don't care. No,
I feel
stop.
like-
Stop. Don't defend. Don't defend with anyone.
Just don't think about it too hard. Just quick buttons and pass.
Okay, it's alright. Okay, Goblin Sneak. Fair enough. Just defend with Goblin Sneak. Pass. Force him. Gotta go fast.
Oh god,
Look, he's got a minute to work with, but
I'm
yeah,
speechless.
Oh. Feast of Famine is breaking. Alright, now you're gonna... The opponent... Yeah, he's gonna pull in Yoritomo. There's nothing you can do about
Famine is
Yoritomo
not
being there.
breaking.
Yeah.
It's a void.
He's trying to take it off the table.
Oh,
Move his track.
100%. You just go all in military here as a lion player with water, because if you can stand the Yoritomo, you're
You can go
golden
in
for the
for it.
political push.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Makes sense.
And actually, the Doji Challenger is out of
No,
question,
no,
so
no,
you've
no,
got
don't go air. Don't go air. Go
Way
water.
the Lion.
Go water. Go water. Go water. Come on, lion. No. No.
Oh dear. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Lion.
So water is the safe play, but air is okay if he can win right here, right?
The way double way of the lion probably could have done it for the policy debate.
I feel
You
like
can math that.
I feel like he plays way of the
12.
lion here.
One way of the lion does it if he's got nothing.
No, like the Crane player has to have a Souls Beyond Reproach by now. Like it's not happening.
Mm.
That works pretty well too.
I mean, you can box here and still break.
You could. Did he get rid of one of the? Yeah, rid of one of the way of the lines. Yeah. Yeah, looks like a box.
45 seconds.
I mean, the Crane is not winning this regardless because the Lion player can literally go pass, and win.
Well, unless he's got a soul beyond reproach, like we have to see it. Oh my god, he doesn't.
What the? What?
Oh my god.
His 2 Souls Beyond Reproach is in bottom 7 cards.
That's
Is monumentally unlucky.
That's bananas. Oh man, 21 sec. Oh, okay. So it's like less than a minute on Zorzo's clock left. I can't. I have no words. That was an amazing game. All right. Well, did you guys have any final thoughts on that?
I think I need to play 1 copy of Yoritomo in Lion.
You're a turbo man. Would you say that he actually saved that game?
I would probably never buy him, but I would strongly consider spirit calling him in for those times where you just need to crack the stronghold on political.
You might charge him.
Yeah, you
I might charge him.
Yeah. So maybe Yoritomo is not such a bad card out of Lion.
I think he's a 1x. Like after this, I can sort of like see, okay, yeah, he's a 1x.
Yep. Yeah, I can kind of see that as well now. Actually, when I saw him get bought, I feel like I didn't really understand, but now I think I've just been educated at the School of Kaipan. It's been pretty good.
I feel like a lot of these boosts to just stat characters are often people don't gauge them properly because they're like, oh, I can just get stats elsewhere. Like I can get them from my conflict deck, but Yoritomo having a no upper limit is kind of ridiculous. Like if you had...
No, I mean, like, usually I'm so fate-starved in Lion, so I don't really see a situation where he's big enough to be worth it. Like, I usually like, but I want to play this conflict character instead, or I want to do this instead, or I want to do that instead. But in a situation where you're trying to crack the stronghold, you just go, alright, Spirit Caller Yoritomo, he's massive. Deal with it.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it does feel like this is the kind of situation where this is like the 1 in a million situation. I am not yet convinced that this is a stable, reliable kind of game plan. Like if you didn't have a stand your grounds,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. None of the Lion game plans is stable and reliable. That's why Lion is not very good at the moment. You just go for the bonkers nut plays. Like it's just sometimes
you just
like,
roll all 6s.
Yeah, sometimes you roll all 6s and you win turn 2 first conflict.
Mm-hmm. Well, on the other box you do certainly.
Oh yeah. Okay, you win turn 2 second conflict.
All right. Okay, well, I think that we should wrap this up. It is almost 12:30 over here in Australia, so thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Thanks, Tenerim. Thanks, Joey, for casting the game. I had a blast. Is there anything you guys wanted to say before we sign off?
Not really. I'm gonna get something to eat before the next World Cup game.
Time to eat.
I think we're good.
All right, fellas. Thanks a bunch. It's been a blast. We'll see all this on YouTube. Bye, chat. Take care.